Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Now a play fake here on first down. And a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougald. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first two downs. It brings up a key third down.
They'll give it to him up the middle. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain. Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. J.D. McKissick taking it in. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Janikowski good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. These Broncos coming off 2 years of not making the playoffs after winning Super Bowl 50. And last year in Vance Joseph's first season, they went 5-11, had an 8-game losing streak. Now, look, the defense remained elite. But the quarterback carousel, the general lack of offensive production really led to a disappointing 2017.
And in order for them to reverse that, they've got to continue to play to their strength, which is their defense. And they did that by drafting Bradley Chubb at number 5 overall, the defensive end out of North Carolina State. Gives them extra pass rushers.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script, I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the former Utah man. This is Devontae Booker. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run with Booker, and that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Tackle made there by Frank Clark. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
To throw is Keenum. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Keenum. And that's the 1st NFL catch for Cortland Sutton. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, his 1st NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. And his kick is right through. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go. So you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Now Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Shot, Johnny.
Now it's Carson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in week 1. So do not press that skip button. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Keenum on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Returnable for Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Well, the Seahawks heading out here on offense. Let's talk about last year. One to forget, Charles, in the Pacific Northwest. 7-9, a seat on the couch in January for these players. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 63 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now a first down throw. Keenum drops it underneath for Booker. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. On first down, Keenum. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run. Here's Janovich, the fullback. Power on power, but he's not going to get in. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, here's Keenum. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Cortland Sutton making quite a splash with his second touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, twisting away. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. On first down, Wilson. Wide open receiver, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over them. And this is caught inside the 5. So we've reached halftime here. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And some room to work. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one 28 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Carson. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now he bowls him over. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And Dixon over the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 10 more there and another first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll try to run with Carson. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Ed Dixon, his first touchdown in a Seahawk uniform. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This is Booker on the dump off. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And this one is incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Here's Keenum. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. The 20, 10, 5, and he is down deep into Seattle territory. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing now is Keenum. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Cortland Sutton now with his 3rd touchdown in his first ever NFL game. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
Is under review.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Now McManus on to kick this one off. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the...
Emmanuel Sanders, he's at the 40. And all the way down to the 35. Keenum finding Sanders for a big one, 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Keenum now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Tried to get that one to Jake Butt, and that'll bring up second down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now Keenum, gotta have this one. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. They run again with Carson. And an alley to run. Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee.
Let's go. Tempo.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
I do get a kick out of seeing a team kneel down at the end of the game in victory formation and wrap one up, because most of the time a kneel down is not a good thing in football. In this case, it's the best thing for the team that's winning.
Best thing week 1 and 1-0 after going down to that knee. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet.